What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Lick and Friends NFL podcast back once again. Today I'm doing the 2019 New Orleans Saints season preview. Looking at the Saints, I like a little bit of what they did in the draft. They drafted center Eric McCoy out of Texas A&M in the second round. Go back-to-back safeties here in the fourth and sixth round. Safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson out of Florida and safety Saquon Hampton out of Rutgers. So addressing the safety was definitely something the Saints wanted to do a little bit later in the draft. And I think their seventh round pick, you don't often see seventh round picks have, big impact or that great of value. But tight end Alize Mack out of Notre Dame, great value. I don't know how he fell to the seventh round. I think if anyone can get a lot out of Alize Mack, it's Drew Brees. He's a pass-catching tight end. Look for him to be a weapon. And on top of that, they added Jared Cook. So now the Saints have two dynamic tight ends that can both catch the ball great. So look for Brees to use those guys. He's got weapons at wide receiver, but now you add to that with tight ends. There's some weapons there on that offense. On top of that, they lost Mark Ingram this offseason, but they did replace him with Latavius Murray, who I like. I like Latavius Murray. I like his fit there in New Orleans. Again, a good pass-catching back. And defensive tackle Malcolm Brown also is added to the Saints. But, you still got a great weapon in Michael Thomas, who's looking for a new contract. Will probably become the NFL's highest-paid wide receiver. And that's going to impact, Julio Jones money and Odell Beckham money and all that. So, pay Michael Thomas. He's worth it. Look at his catch percentage. I believe it was 90% last year. He was catching everything. So, a lot of people see the Saints dropping off in 2019. I don't. Anytime you have Drew Brees and the weapons around him, they're going to be damn good. A lot of people are talking about Drew Brees' arm strength, as he's getting later and later into his career. I did see a little bit of that, but Sean Payton's a hell of a coach. He's got Taysom Hill there as well, who can come in and, throw the deep ball. He's got Teddy Bridgewater as backup as well. Taysom Hill's going to get involved. Sean Payton is great at that. In so many different ways you can use Taysom Hill. Special teams, running back, quarterback, whatever, tight end. Teddy Bridgewater is a solid backup as well if he needs to come in. So I'm not as worried about the Saints as most people. It's easy in July or late June to be like the Saints are going to take a drop off next year, but I don't see it. I really don't. I think they're going to be contenders once again. I think they're going to be contenders in their division, especially. Atlanta's going to be good, better. Carolina's going to be better. Tampa Bay might even be better. But I still have the Saints winning this division. I think they go right around 11-5, 10-6. And I think they find a way to win the division still. But they need to get it done. It is going to be difficult bouncing back off of a second straight year of just a horrible ending to the season, an absolute heartbreak. First, there's a miracle in Minnesota, the Minneapolis Miracle with Stephon Diggs catching that pass and the reckless play by Marcus Williams, the safety. So that was absolute heartbreak. Then you have, last year where, in my opinion, I had the Saints winning that. I had the Saints getting to the Super Bowl and that horrible pass interference no call at the end of the game. Now, that's dominated headlines all off season, and it even led to a rule change. I was saying then at the time, it's a horrible call, but the Saints still had an opportunity to go down the field and win the game in overtime. And Brees got hit. I believe it was Dante Fowler Jr. that had the hit, and that led to an interception. And we all know what happened at the end of the game. The Rams win it. Drew Brees and Sean Payton and these guys, they're like, give us one more chance. They feel like crazy things had to happen to keep them out of the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. And so I think they're going to be even more hungry in 2019. I don't see guys like Drew Brees and Sean Payton uh, sinking their head and sulking and being like, we can't get it done, everything's against us. I think the Saints are going to be just as competitive, just as tough to beat. Yeah, it's a tough division. I still got the Saints pulling it out. Unless something catastrophic happens, unless Brees really declines in his play, they're still going to be there. You still got weapons all around on the offensive side of the ball. Um, and the defense is formidable there in New Orleans still. So I've got the Saints win the division again, 11-5. I'm gonna say 11-5. The Saints go, and they find a way to win the division. And maybe 2019 will be the year that the Saints can get into the Super Bowl and send Drew Brees out the right way, end his career the right way with a championship, maybe a Super Bowl MVP. But time's running out. He's an aging quarterback. We all know he's getting up there. So if the Saints are gonna do it, now is the time. This is the year. Um, so I think it's gonna be tough to come out of the NFC. I think there's lots of talent in the NFC, but all the Saints care about is just getting there, getting a home playoff game, win the division, and just see what happens. Breaks happen, in different ways. So if the Saints can get a break to go their way, a break can go right, in the playoffs, and maybe that'll be enough to get them into the Super Bowl. I know Saints fans are hoping that happens, so we'll see if it does. Again, I've got the Falcons going 10-6, so it's gonna be a dogfight. I got the Saints going 11-5. Panthers are gonna be right there too, so it's gonna be a hell of a fight in the division in 2019. But I heard people like Mike Florio and these different people expecting a Saints drop off, and I just don't. It's hard for me to pick against these Saints. It's hard for me to pick against Sean Payton and Drew Brees, regardless of the age. So you're seeing Tom Brady and Bill Belichick still do it. I think this is the next best thing, the closest thing to that. And so it's going to be hard to beat a team with an established culture and a lot of talent. So that's my prediction for the Saints in 2019. We'll see if they can get over the hump and get to the Super Bowl this coming season. So hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Appreciate the support, guys, and keep tuning in. Peace out.